What has it been like for you having the President of the United States criticize your physical appearance?
Well, not only my physical appearance, everything. My sexuality, my parenting, my wife. Like, he went really batshit crazy.
What is it about you that drew this out of him?
Well, that I told the truth about him at a time when everyone was afraid. But then I did the really offensive thing to him. I told the truth that he was bankrupt 4 times.
That's what did it.
He's not a self-made man, that he got his daddy's money, and that he also notoriously ripped off all these private contractors, family businesses all over New Atlantic City.
Don't hold grudges against anybody like Rosie O'Donnell. She said some things about me that were hurtful and untrue. I said some things about her that were mean but completely accurate.
Brace yourselves, because Trump just exploded like a firework at a budget New Year's Eve bash. Rosie O'Donnell and Jimmy Kimmel just aired out his dirty laundry live on TV. And let's just say, this wasn't exactly part of his perfect life narrative. From Melania's legendary eye rolls to the mystery of why she always looks like she's plotting her escape in every photo, nothing was off limits. And Trump's reaction? A meltdown so over the top it could have its own reality show. What did they reveal that sent him spiraling into chaos? Stick around, this is one expose you won't want to miss.
One of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
I said, you know, some facts that I just went on Wiki that were easily accessible since this campaign began. That he is bankrupt 4 times, that he got all his money from his father, and that he notoriously cheats private contractors out of their money.
Another day, another Trump tantrum, and this time it's a full-blown, red-faced meltdown. What triggered it? Oh, just Rosie O'Donnell and Jimmy Kimmel doing what they do best, roasting him to a crisp on live TV. Let's be honest, when it comes to serving up Trump slander with a side of comedy gold, nobody does it better than these two. And speaking of Trump, he has a new line of greeting cards now available at CVS.
Watching this moron speak, can he form a coherent sentence? He is the worst thing that ever happened, period. And he's just babbling like an incoherent asshole. He's like Dr. Doom. He's the worst thing. Oh, you know what? He just lies.
They're quite interesting, actually. I've never seen any Happy Valentine's Day cards quite like them. First up, there's Rosie, who's been living rent-free in Trump's head for decades.
No, it wasn't.
You guys dropped the ball on Trump so much for this country that you guys, the mass media, is to blame. To equate him and Hillary Clinton and act as though they were the same. To equate Hunter Biden and the billion-dollar criminal crime family Trumps is ridiculous. And you guys never did a Google search to say he was bankrupt 6 times. So when I said it on The View, he went batshit. To tell the truth about...
Honestly, at this point, she should be charging him for emotional labor. She knows just how to get under his skin, and this time she's got receipts. The topic? His marriage, or as some might call it, the world's most awkward hostage situation. Let's be real. Nothing about the Trump marriage screams romance. This is a guy whose love language is lawsuits. And Melania? Well, she looks like a woman who made a deal with the devil, and only realized too late that she should have read the fine print.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
Well, he is a cruel, criminal, and mentally unstable man. And Duty to Warn was a book that came out when he was first in office. Psychiatrists across the country who don't ever really diagnose people that they don't serve personally came together and made a book, Duty to Warn, to tell the world what a narcissistic, mentally ill person he is. And I think he's the worst thing that ever happened to the United States, and his cruelty knows no bounds.
The forced smiles, the robotic hand-holding, and the constant public displays of affection that barely register. It's like watching a really bad soap opera, but without any of the passion. And then there's Rosie.
Now let's go to the UFC, and Trump again made a rock star entrance. The crowd reaction is the same, whether it's New York for UFC 295 last month or Nevada for UFC 296 a couple of days ago. Let's have a look. But not everybody was happy. Poor Rosie O'Donnell is not coping.
Trump just arrived at the UFC 296, and I can't stand Donald Trump. And the one thing I hate about the UFC is that he ruins it every time he shows up. I mean, come on, Dana White, you gotta do better.
Who wasted no time pointing out the painfully obvious. The way Melania swats his hand away as if it's contagious, or how she always seems to be calculating the perfect moment to fake a medical emergency and make her escape. Honestly, it looks like she's more attached to her purse than to her husband. It's all right there for everyone to see, yet Trump still insists they're the perfect couple. Then there's the epic showdown of Rosie O'Donnell versus Donald Trump, arguably one of the greatest celebrity feuds of all time. It's not a fair fight, really. Trump just can't seem to handle the fact that Rosie has been roasting him for decades without breaking a sweat. This guy has been president, impeached, and indicted, yet he still wakes up every morning with one mission: to be mad at Rosie O'Donnell. It all kicked off back in 2006 when Rosie, then a co-host on The View, did the unthinkable. She made fun of Donald Trump. And not just any joke. She went all in on him for his bizarre decision to publicly forgive a Miss USA contestant for her bad behavior, acting like he was some kind of saint. There's this idea of moral authority that seems to be missing, and instead, we have a walking ethics violation. Rosie really went for it, poking fun at his business flops, his hair, which, let's be honest, defies all known laws of physics, and his whole persona as a self-proclaimed billionaire who just can't seem to stop declaring bankruptcy. The audience loved it. It was pure comedy gold. But Trump? Oh, he didn't take it lightly. Most people would have laughed it off, maybe shot back with a witty comeback, or at least remembered they were adults with better things to focus on. But not Trump. No. He declared an all-out war. He went on a wild media tour, ranting about Rosie on every platform that would listen. He resorted to name-calling like a middle school bully who just discovered insults. He made outrageous claims about her career, her looks, and her personal life, because in Trump's world, any woman who dares to challenge him must be taken down at all costs. Meanwhile, Rosie was thriving. She didn't just keep the jokes coming, she relished it. Every time Trump lost his cool over something she said, she doubled down. She called him out on his scandals, his fraud cases, and his struggle to string together a coherent sentence. She knew exactly how to get under his skin. And let's be real, it wasn't even that hard. Years went by, and Trump still couldn't let it go. Most people forget about feuds in a week, but Trump clung to this one like it was a cherished family heirloom. Even during his presidency, when he had actual responsibilities, he still found time to randomly rage about Rosie O'Donnell. World leaders, national security, who cares? Somewhere out there, Rosie might just be laughing at all of it. The real crisis was him. And the best part? Rosie hardly had to lift a finger. Trump's meltdowns were like clockwork. All she needed to do was tweet a single joke, and boom, he'd spiral into another incoherent rant, proving her point time and time again. Even after all these years, Trump still flinches at the sound of her name. Meanwhile, Rosie is just out here living her life, casually reminding everyone that no matter how rich or powerful Trump tries to appear, he's still just a thin-skinned guy who got completely taken down by a comedian and never really bounced back. Mr. Trump, one thing people appreciate about you is your willingness to speak your mind without the usual political filter. But that honesty comes with its own set of challenges, especially when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like names like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. And let's not forget your Twitter account. Oh, and I just looked up some facts on Wikipedia. that are pretty easy to find. You've gone bankrupt 4 times, you got most of your money from your father, and you have a reputation for cheating private contractors out of their hard-earned cash.